my dear students, welcome to English class. I'm very happy to meet you through this video once again. So today, in this particular video, we're going to look at Unit 2B reading, The Dear Departed 2. In the earlier video, we have seen in Dear Departed 1, the story has ended in a suspense. They all thought that Abel Merriweather was dead, but at the end of the story, we have seen that the old man came out of his room walking down the stairs. So the story had ended in a suspense, not knowing that whether it is really Abel Merriweather who was alive or the ghost which is coming down. So now let us continue that in our part 2 and let us see what really had happened. As we have seen, they sent Victoria in order to get the keys of the bureau, and she came down scared, clinged to her mother and said that grandpa is getting up, and everyone thought that she was crazy. And then even Abel might have seen Victoria in his room. Seeing her scared coming down, Abel might have seen her and might have wondered what this little girl is doing in my room and why is she so scared. So Abel came down and he's asking, let us see. Let's open our textbooks on page 45 and let us read. Abel, what's the matter with little Vicky? So he's surprised to see her so scared and he's asking them, what's the matter with little Vicky? Why is she so scared? Why did she run away from my room? And then in the brackets, he sees Ben and Mrs. Jordan. So they were not there earlier before he went to bed, and as he sees them present over there, he's so surprised to see them both, Ben and Elizabeth. So see, hello, what brings you here? How's yourself, Ben? So he's asking, why did you come here? Is there some occasion? Is there some reason why you're here? And he's greeting his son-in-law. How's yourself, Ben? And see that Abel thrusts his hand at Ben, who skips back smartly and retreats with Mrs. Jordan to a safe distance below the sofa. So Abel thrusts his hand, that means push suddenly in a specified direction. So he pushed his hand towards Ben, maybe not to pat on his shoulder, but Ben is still in confusion whether they are really seeing Abel Merriweather or are they confronting a ghost. So he's scared and he's little conscious. What happened is that he skipped back smartly. He went back and retreated. Retreated means move back. And then he even pulled Mrs. Jordan along with him to a safe distance because he wanted to make sure that they are really talking to his father-in-law, not to a ghost. So then Mrs. Slater, so Amelia, approaching Abel gingerly. Gingerly means in a careful way. So he came to her father carefully and see what she's saying. Father, is that you? She pokes him with her hand to see if he is solid. So even Emilia is wondering and confirming, is that you? And she even poked with her finger in order to check whether he is solid or is it a ghost. And Abel, of course it's me. Don't do that, Emilia. Maybe she's still poking him with her finger. So he got annoyed, and of course it's we, don't do that, Emilia. What's the devil do you mean by this tomfoolery? And if you see what the devil means, it's an old-fashioned way of showing annoyance or displeasure. So, and tomfoolery means foolish or silly behavior. And it's like Abel Merriweather might have gone to his bed to get some rest, to get some sleep. And after he waking up, they are all looking at him as if he was dead. These people thought that he was dead, but in fact, Abel Merriweather, he himself knows that he went to bed to take some rest. So after he waking up, they're all acting in a weird way. They are looking at him as if they're looking at a ghost and Amelia is poking with her finger and checking whether he is solid or not. So this really annoyed him, and that's the reason why he makes these statements. What's the devil do you mean by this tomfoolery? Mrs. Jordan, Elizabeth, you took us by surprise, Father. Are you keeping quite well? We, looking at you, really surprised us. And she is asking about his health. Are you keeping quite well? Nabil trying to catch the words. Eh, what? So he just went to bed to get a sleep. No one would ask someone who woke up from sleep, are you keeping quite well and all? It's a normal thing to go to bed and sleep. And these people thought that he is dead, and see how they are asking. So, and that's the reason why trying to catch the words, and he's like he couldn't able to understand why they are asking, why they are poking and checking, why the Ben is scared, and that's why what, and then see there. A is an expression, a request for repetition or confirmation of what was just said. So you just want to confirm what she's asking. So A is a word, is an expression to uh, for repetition or confirmation of what was just said. And then see Mrs. Jordan, Elizabeth is again repeating, are you quite well? She is again asking him the same question. Abel, I'm right enough, but for a bit of a headache. So he's saying that I'm all right, but a little headache, that's it. Looking at Emilia, what the dickens did I do with my new slippers? And if you see here, what the dickens and what the devil is almost gives the same meaning. What the dickens means, it's again bold fashioned and informal, used in questions instead of devil to show that you're annoyed or surprised. Now he couldn't able to find his slippers, his new slippers, because Emilia did something with his slippers. So he's looking for them and he's annoyed and he's asking, where? What did you do with my new slippers? Mrs. Slater confused, she not knowing what to do, because she herself gave those slippers to her husband in order to wear them. Aren't they by the hearth, father? So she's saying, your slippers are near by the hearth. Hearth means the area, a floor around a fireplace in a house. So they are near to the fireplace. So, and then let us see. Abel, I don't see them. Maybe he might have checked near the hearth. He says, I don't see them, and see in the brackets, observing Henry trying to remove the slippers. And even he has seen Henry wearing his slippers. Why you have got them on, Henry? And Abel is questioning, why did you wear my slippers? And what is the reason behind it? And see over there how manipulative Emilia is, Mrs. Emilia Slater. She's saying promptly, promptly means without a delay, very quickly. I told him to put them on to stretch them. They were that new and hard. Now, Henry. So she's such a manipulative woman. She's saying that I asked him to wear so that they would stretch and they would fit well for you. Everyone, when they buy slippers, they would find their comfortable size and they buy. They don't buy a small size and they will look for someone else to wear them and stretch them. That is totally a foolish way of manipulating. They were that new and hard. She doesn't need to care about them. It's Abel who bought them. He will take care of them. Now Henry, she's saying that, Henry, remove them and give them. And then see, Mrs. Slater snatches the slippers from Henry and gives them to Abel, who puts them on and sits in the armchair. So she right away takes those slippers as soon as Henry removes them, and she gives them to Abel Meriwether. And then Mrs. Jordan, Elizabeth. See, now Elizabeth got to know that even that Emilia and Henry stolen Abel Meriwether's slippers. So now let us see how Elizabeth is going to react. To Ben, well, I don't call that delicate, stepping into a dead man's shoe in such haste. So Elizabeth got a doubt now, saying that, okay, it doesn't seem to be a light thing. Why? Because in such a hurry, you stepped into a dead man's shoe. That means you thought that he is dead, and as soon as you know that he is dead, you started taking away his things. Victoria runs across to Abel and sits on the floor at his feet. So she went to her grandfather and she sat near to him. Victoria, oh grandpa, I'm so glad you're not dead. And everyone is trying to cover this up, but Victoria, she opened her mouth and revealed the truth. And she's saying that, oh grandpa, I'm so glad that you're not dead. But let us see Mrs. Slater in a vindictive whisper. And the vindictive whisper means talking about someone in a harsh, hasty manner. So they don't want to reveal this. They don't want to tell him that they thought that he died. And as Victoria opened her mouth and revealed what they are trying to hide, see, in a vindictive whisper, in a we can see that in a harsh, hasty manner, she's trying to shut the Victoria. Hold your tongue, Victoria. So please talk carefully. What is it you're saying? And said, Abel, hey, what's that? Who's gone dead? And Abel heard that word dead and he want to confirm it. So he's asking to repeat it. What's that? What did you say, Victoria? Who's gone dead? Who is dead? And then let us see. And over here, Abel got to hear this word, that word dead. Let us see how Mrs. Emilia will manipulate this particular thing. Loudly, Victoria says she's sorry about your head. In the earlier dialogue, Abel Merriweather mentioned that he had a bit of headache, and now she's manipulating dead as head, and Victoria is actually asking about your head. She didn't mean dead. And see how manipulative Emilia is. And then Abel, hey, thank you, Vicky, but I'm feeling better. So he believed her words, and he's saying that, thank you, Vicky, but I'm feeling better. And Abel, why, Ben? You are in mourning? And Lizzie too, and Emilia and Henry and that little Vicky, who's gone dead? It's someone in the family. And as I told you, they would all put on a similar color dress in order to express their condolence. Black symbolizes that they are all mourning, that they are all grieving the death of a beloved one. So as they were all wearing the black dress, so Abel is asking everyone, why is that you're all in mourning? It's someone in the family, is someone from in our family that has gone dead. He chuckles, even laughs at looking at them, that they're all wearing black. Mrs. Slater, no one you know, father, a relation of Ben's. So the whole story is taken forward by Emilia, and see that she's again manipulating. You don't know someone of Ben's relatives, they passed away, that's why we're all wearing the mourning. And Abel, let's see what he's going to ask. And what's relation of Ben's? So how is he related to Ben, Mrs. Slater? His brother. So Mrs. Slater is saying that Ben's brother died. Ben to Mrs. Slater, damn it, I never had one. Ben, he was not cooperating with them. He's not being part of that story that they are fabricating. He just simply opened his mouth and said that I never had one. I don't have any brothers. And Abel, dear, what was his name, Ben? And Abel is into it. Maybe he might have believed what they said. So he want a name, or he want to know who that brother is. And Ben at a loss means he totally lost his speech, and he doesn't know what to reply. And then see, he crosses to front of table. So not knowing what to say, he's nagging. And then Emilia, right side of the table, prompting. So she's trying to help him out to make a name. So she gave the word Frederick, and Elizabeth from the left side of the table prompting Albert. So Slater said something, Elizabeth said something, and Ben, he's trying to mix up all this. Fred Albazek. So he tried to mix up, and see, Abel could able to pick up only one name from all those mix up. Isaac. And where did your brother Isaac die? On page 47. Please look at page 47. Isaac. And where did your brother Isaac die? Ben in Australia. See, he couldn't. They don't have a proper story to give him, or because the story was entirely different. The scenario was entirely different. They want to cover it up. They don't want to mention him that they thought that he died, and they were surprised to see him alive. So Ben is not knowing what to say, so he's trying to make up in Australia. And Abel raised him from the place where he sat. Earlier it mentioned that he sat in an armchair. And let's say, well, I suppose you have only been waiting for me to begin tea. I'm feeling hungry. And they were all making tea, and they thought they will have the tea and then go upstairs and look at their father's dead body. And even after Abel coming down, they haven't started the tea. Abel thought that they're all waiting for him to come and start the tea, and he's saying that he's hungry too. Mrs. Slater, taking up the kettle, I will make tea. And again, she has taken the kettle and she says that I'll make some more tea. And then Abel, come along now, sit you down and let's be jolly. So Abel, as he sees all his family members together, so he just want to spend time with them. So he's asking all of them to come together. We'll all sit and have a family time. Abel sits at the head of the table facing spectators, and you can see in the picture that he is sitting as the head of the table and addressing all these people. Abel suddenly recollecting, hey, Emilia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless. Do you hear me, Henry, Emilia? So Abel, as he wanted to have tea, and as he sat there, he all of a sudden realized that his bureau is downstairs. Until now, he didn't see it. Now all of a sudden, as he saw it, hey, Emilia and Henry, what the devil did you mean by shifting my bureau out of my bedroom? So all of a sudden he got angry and he's questioning them, and even he's shouting at them. Henry and Mrs. Slater are speechless now. They are just stunned. They don't know what to say. And they don't have words. They are speechless because it's not only that they have done something wrong, and even they have tried to manipulate their sister. She tried to cheat her own sister. And Elizabeth Sharp, she came to know the truth now. And it's not only Abel who is going to fire them, but Elizabeth and Ben, they're also going to open their mouth to fire their own sister. And then see, do you hear me, Henry, Emilia? So he's shouting at them, do you hear me? Why don't you speak? And all. And as I told you, Elizabeth is curious to know what it is. See, Elizabeth, what bureau was that, father? Which bureau, father? Which one are you talking about? Let's see. Abel, why my bureau? The one I bought. So that's the bureau that I bought. That's mine. So I'm talking about that. Page 48. Mrs. Jordan, pointing out to the bureau. Was it the one, father? And before she get into an argument, she just want to make sure that she is thinking about the right bureau. So she went near to the bureau and pointing out to it, and she is confirming from her father. Was it the one, father? Abel, that's it. What's it doing there? So he's annoyed. So he's very angry. So yeah, what's it doing there? And then see how he's expressing his annoyance using that expression A. And then a pause. The clock on the mantelpiece strikes 6. Everyone looks at it. It's not only the bureau. She had brought down the clock as well. And as they were having an argument about bureau, meanwhile even the clock which is on the mantelpiece struck 6. That means when every hour the clock would make a music, and it will ring for 6 times if it is 6 o'clock. So as they were having this argument, even the clock started playing its music, and they all looked at the clock. So now Emilia and Henry are in double problem. Totally got into a pretty big problem. As they're trying to cover up, there's nothing that they could do now. Everything is disclosed. Everything is open now. Drat me if that isn't my clock too. So as the clock struck 6, it made noise. Even he recognized that that's his clock. Drat means a fairly mild expression of slight annoyance. Again, he's annoyed and he's expressing this. What's the devil been going on in this house? Again, what's the devil? What's the dickens? It's all they're all expressions of annoyance, irritation, and all. So what's going on in this house? Why are my things down here? Why did you bring my bureau and my clock down here? So now they have to answer. A slight pause, and then Emilia and Henry are both shocked. They don't have anything to say to their father because they were caught. They are found thieves. Ben, well, I will be hanged. And then Ben is making an expression, I will be hanged. Mrs. Jordan raising, I tell you what's been going on in this house. Father, nothing short of robbery. So Elizabeth understood that, okay, these people tried to cheat their father, they thought that he is dead and they tried to steal his things before Elizabeth came there. So Elizabeth understood the whole scenario, and Mrs. Slater, Emilia, be quiet, Elizabeth. So, as she can't reply anything to her father, she's trying to shut the Elizabeth's mouth. Let us see how these both sisters going to deal with each other. Mr. Jordan, I will not be quiet. Oh, I call it double-faced. So Jordan now got all the opportunity to take over Emilia, and she's not going to lose it. And see, I call it double-faced. Double-faced means hypocritical, deceitful, dishonest. I understood your dishonesty. I understood your deceit. How cunning you are. And then see Henry. Now, Elizabeth. So Henry is trying to intimidate Elizabeth and saying, now you keep quiet now. And then see Mrs. Jordan, Elizabeth Jordan, what she is saying. And you too. Are you such a poor creature that you must do every dirty thing she tells you? And now she is to Henry and she is asking you, selfless creature, why you have to do everything that your wife says, every dirty thing that your wife says. Why don't you teach her something good? And why do you always agree with her? So have some individuality. So she's even scolding Henry. And then Abel rising, thumping the table. So he banged his table with his hand and then, damn it all, will someone tell me what's been going on? So Abel, even now, he couldn't able to know what's going on. But whereas Elizabeth, as soon as she got to know that bureau and clock doesn't belongs to Emilia and Henry, she got the whole picture. But Abel Meriwether is still in confusion, not knowing what's really going on over there. And then, let us see, Mrs. Jordan, Elizabeth, is replying, yes, I will not see you robbed. Yes, I will explain you everything. These people tried to rob you and I will not let them rob you. Abel, who's been robbing me? And he want to confirm, who is robbing me? And then Mrs. Jordan, Emilia and Henry, they have stolen your clock and bureau. These two people, Emilia and Henry, they're trying to rob you. They have stolen your bureau and clock, working herself up. And then see, they sneaked into your room like thieves in the night and stole them after you were dead. And see there, they just calm and quietly entered your room and they have brought them down. And when you were dead, in fact, in actual, he was not dead. And let us see how he's going to react about that word dead. Henry and Mrs. Slater, hush, quiet, Elizabeth, as she is revealing that everything that so far they're trying to hide, they're trying to calm her down. Mrs. Jordan, I will not be stopped. After you are dead, I say. So she want to reveal everything, what's been going on there. So she says that I will not be stopped. After you are dead, I say. So she want to say that they both thought that you were dead and they tried to steal your things. Abel, after who was dead? And Abel, even now he couldn't able to get what's going on. Mrs. Jordan, you. Okay, you. After you are dead, they have stolen the bureau and clock. Abel, but I'm not dead. So Abel is alive and that's the reason why they're talking to him. So I'm not dead. Let's see. Mrs. Jordan, no, but they thought you were. Elizabeth told him that they thought you were dead and they have stolen your things. Abel, oh ho, so that's why you're all in black today. You thought I was dead. He chuckles. So now Abel could able to know everything that's going on in the house. And now it's not because of some relative of Ben that they were wearing those mourning dress and mourning, but they all thought that he was dead. That's the reason why they all came in that mourning dress. And now he understood that. That was a big mistake, he sits and resumes his tea. Okay, that's a very big mistake that you've done, thinking that I was dead. And bringing all these things down, you really made a big mistake. Emilia sobbing, father. And Emilia over here is, she is sobbing, crying noisily, taking sudden short breaths. So now Emilia got nothing to say. She can't hide things now. She can't manipulate things now. The game is over. And what else she is doing is sobbing and saying, father. And then Abel, it didn't take you long to start dividing my things between you. So as soon as you thought that I was dead, you started taking away my things. I will tell you what I'm going to do since you your mother died, I have lived part of the time with you, Emilia, and part with you, Lizzie. And well, I shall make a new will, leaving all my bits of things to whoever I am living with when I die. How does that strike you? So now he's too annoyed because of his daughters. He's coming up with a new decision. Ever since your mother died, I have spent a part of time with you, Emilia, and part time with you, Lizzie. Lizzie means nothing but Elizabeth. And now I'm going to write a new will. In that I will mention that whoever I am living with when I die, every belonging of mine will belong to them. How did that strike you? So how is this going to be? So let us see how they're going to react with this. Mrs. Jordan, Father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. We would make you very comfortable. So Elizabeth is using the opportunity, trying to make a best use of it. So as Emilia is proved guilty, now Elizabeth is trying to act innocent, and she is trying to get her father's attention. Father, it's quite time you came to live with us again. So it's time plus subject plus we2. It's an expression that says that something is being delayed. You need to do it right away. So you come live with us again. We would make you very comfortable. We will take care of everything. You come with us. You live with us. We will make your life comfortable over there. Mrs. Slater, no, he's not been with us as long as he was with you. So in the earlier conversations in part 1, we have seen that he stayed with Elizabeth for 5 years and with Emilia only for 3 years, and he passed away, they thought. So now Emilia is intervening in between and saying that he is not with us as long as he was with you, so he will stay with us, he will not come with you. Mrs. Jordan, I may be wrong, but I don't think father will fancy living on with you after what's happened today. So Elizabeth is trying to say that, okay, father will not like to stay with you because he came to know that you are a manipulator, you are a stealer, you are a swindler, so he will not like to live with you. Abel, it seems to me that neither of you has any cause to feel proud about the way you have treated me. Okay, Elizabeth and Emilia, neither of you have anything or any right to speak about me. Even you both have treated me wrong. You both have ill-treated me, and either of you have any right to speak about me. You both deserve the punishment. Mrs. Slater, if I have done anything wrong, I'm sorry for it. And Emilia, let us see here. If I have done anything wrong, she's not admitting her mistakes. If I have done, okay, she's leaving it to Abel. So you decide if I have done any wrong. Okay, I'm sorry for it. And then she's not accepting, she's not admitting that she had made a mistake. Mrs. Jordan, and I can't say more than that too. So Elizabeth is saying, even I am sorry, and I can't say anything more than what Emilia has said. The same words as well. Abel, it's a bit late to say it now. Neither of you cared to put up with me. So neither of you really tried to look after me. Put up with means it's a phrasal verb, bear or look after. None of you have really tried to put up with me. None of you deserve my property, and none of you deserve me. And then let us see what he's going to do. Mrs. Slater and Mrs. Jordan, no, father, please don't say that, father. And both are pleading together. Abel, you both say that because of what I have told you about leaving my money. Well, since you don't want me, I will go to someone that does. So he's trying to say, because you're pleading me because I have told you about my will, I have told you about my money, what I'm going to do it after my death. So that's the reason why you're pleading me now. I know your mind, I know your heart. And then come, Mr. Merriweather, you have got to live with one of your daughters. So he's telling Abel that you have no other option. Where will you go at this age? You need to live with one of your daughters. So I'll make a decision. Don't create a scene. Abel, I will tell you what I have got to do. So he's going to tell them what he's going to do and where, with whom he's going to live. Does he have any place to live now, or does he have someone to look after him? And then see, on Monday next, I have got to do three things. So next Monday is going to do three things on Monday. What are they? I have got to go to the lawyer and alter my will. So I'm going to go to my lawyer and alter his will according to what he said earlier. So with whomsoever he was living when he was dead, everything would belong to them. And I have got to go to the insurance office and pay my premium. He himself is saying that I didn't pay my premium. Now I'm going to pay my premium. I have got to go to St. Philip's Church and get married. And the third thing is something really surprising, and it's a kind of twist in the story. A old man, now he's going to get married. And then Ben and Henry, what? They both were surprised, and they both, maybe in unison, they said, what? Mrs. Jordan, get married? And even Elizabeth is so surprised. Get married? You're going to get married? And then see, Emilia is out of his senses. And you can see general consternation, a worried, sad feeling. So she is saying that he's gone out of mind. He's out of his senses. And Abel, I say I'm going to get married. So he's just confirming it, as they were so surprised, astonished, startled. So he just want to confirm it, saying that I'm going to get married. Mrs. Slater, who to? Who is going to marry you, or whom you're going to marry? Let's see, Abel. To Mrs. John Sherrocks, who keeps the Ringo Bells. So the woman name is Mrs. John Sherrocks. Who keeps means who looks after the Ringo Bells. And then it's a restaurant name. We have had it fixed up a while now. So it's not which had happened all of a sudden, or which is just a decision which I have taken right now. I have been planning this for a long time, but I was keeping it for a pleasant surprise. I have kept this without revealing to you. I want to reveal it to you as a surprise. He raises. I felt I was a bit of a burden to you. And he even felt that, okay, these people, Emily and Elizabeth, they don't like me. They don't want to take care of me. They feel like I'm a burden to them. So I found someone who would think it a pleasure to look after me. So you have found someone for whom it would be a pleasure to take care of Abel. We shall be very glad to see you at the ceremony. And what ceremony? Wedding ceremony. So he's inviting both their daughters and his son-in-laws. So he want to see them there, and he's saying he would be glad, he would be very happy. He gets to the door. He's almost at the door, and he's opening it. Till Monday then. So till Monday. And Monday, I already told you what I'm going to do. He already told us what he's going to do. 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church. So the wedding is at 12 o'clock at St. Philip's Church, opening the door. It's a good thing you bought the bureau downstairs. So even saying that, it's really a good thing that you bought the bureau down, because in a little while, even if you happen not to do this, I would have shifted that to a new home. So Emilia, it will be handier to carry it across to the Ringo Bells on Monday. Handier means it would be very easy for us to carry this bureau, because they have brought it down, and bringing something which is heavy from upstairs to downstairs, it's very difficult, or taking it up is also a difficult thing. So they have made Abel Merriweather's work easy. So he's thanking them. He goes out, and then he goes out, the curtain falls, and that's how our play ends. We have seen in the story as the intention of our author is to say how the moral values in the British middle class have degraded. It's not only in British middle class, the values have degraded. Even in the present society right now, we see that children would only take care of their parents if they get something because of taking care. So nowadays, all family ties and family relations have become so commercial. Everyone will get, what would we get if we look after? What could we expect from them if we take care? What is the benefit that we get if we help them? And people have become so commercial. Though this particular lesson comes under wit and humor, and it has a touch of humor. We see how carefully they have used words in order to create the drama, or in order to create that play. So, but it has a great lesson to teach each one of us. And Emilia and Elizabeth are examples of whom we should not be, whom we should take as an example and try not to be like them. So, as you heard this part 1 and part 2, hope you would realize and you would make up your mind how not to be and how you should be. So I hope you all will be a kind, loving sons and daughters, and let us do that, because life is so short, and money would come and go away, property would come and go away, but it is the love of the family that lasts forever. And if you have that, you could give that to your future generations as well. So please, as we end this lesson over here, I suggest you please keep your textbook open. Please read the glossary part of Unit 2A reading and Unit 2B reading. And understanding the glossary and all the words that are mentioned in the lesson as we go through them is very important. These will really help you to answer synonyms, antonyms, and also will develop your vocabulary and will really add beauty to your conversation. Thank you.